fans taking off early. That pitch on the outside corner. The good thing about these Cape League games is you don't have to pay to get in. So you can come and go as you please. I'm sure over the course of a lot of these games, several thousand in attendance. There's a drive out towards right center field by Wilkin, chasing him back at the track, the wall, and it's off the wall. Acton into third. They're going to wave him in. Here comes a play at the plate that throws up the line, and it is in plenty of time to cut down Corey Acton. A great relay starting from DeLauder out in right field. Placing the tag is Mickness, and the first run of the Mariners season will have to wait. It was an aggressive call to send him, and it did not pay off.
Yeah, you got the third base coach, Mark Tebow, standing over near the bag, and you're eager to get that first run across. It was a pretty deep hit ball, especially with the way center field is here at Eldridge Park. You think you can get him in because it was a bit of an issue for Orleans to pick that ball up out in right center, but coming all the way from first, just way too far for Corey Acton to try and come around to score. You're giving Orleans too much time to pick up that ball and throw it home.
So Wilkins standing off of second base with one out, and Andrew Jenkins will try his luck against Carter Smith. He watches a breaking ball over for a strike. Jenkins 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts, and if I remember correctly, all 3 of them were really nice plays by the left side of the infield.
Yes, they were.
Locklear and Sprinkle.
And that's another part of this Orleans team that's been excellent beyond the pitching, is this infield defense.
Fastball at the knees for a strike. Smith real aggressive. Going ahead and counts early. Was ahead 0-2 on Acton before falling behind and eventually walking him. He looks to punch out Jenkins. Get one step closer to getting out of this jam. 0-2, spoiled foul off to the right. Orleans in 2019 qualified for the playoffs. Were among the 8 teams that made it, but were eliminated early on by the YD Red Sox, who were eventually eliminated by Harwich in the Big Division or Eastern Division Championship Series. As there's a comebacker fielded cleanly by Carter Smith, underhands to first to retire Jenkins. That will move Wilkin over to third base, but with 2 down. 4th ground out of the game for Jenkins. Aaron McKeithen will try his luck. 0 for 2 with a walk, that coming in the 6th. And digs the right-hander from Arden, North Carolina. He watches ball 1.
This inning could look a lot different right now for Harwich. If that runner in Acton just held up at third, could have had a chance to be driven home a moment ago by Jenkins.
McKeithen way late on a fastball. Do apologize for the technical difficulties that have taken place throughout the stream, and we hope to have those rectified ahead of tomorrow evening's game at White House Field, where we will have video.
Yes, the amenities of home.
Fastball misses low and outside, and that will be the case for the next 4 games, which will be in action Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at White House Field. They'll have an off day on Thursday, and then one last home game on Friday before going back out on the road. Breaking ball in the dirt. Wilkin takes a step towards the plate, but Mickness kept it close by. Quickly gets it back to his pitcher. 3-1 the count to McKeithen. Pat Winkle waiting in the on-deck circle. He's looking to pick up where he left off in the 2019 Cape League playoffs, where he exploded for several home runs. 3-1, misses outside for ball 4. Second walk drawn by McKeithen. He trots down to first base, and in steps Patrick Winkle. Replaced Tatum Levins out in the field. He finally comes around and gets an opportunity sophomore from Orange, Connecticut. And had 2 home runs in the 2019 championship series in a losing effort. That 7-6 marathon 15-inning game at White House Field. One of them soared over the center field fence by a good 40 feet. He missed 2020 due to an injury. Ball misses down and in. Hit 284 for UConn. Just hit 167 on the Cape, but really not indicative of how well he performed in the postseason. Came alive at the end of the season. All 3 home runs coming in the playoffs. Winkle rips this one foul just outside of first. He was on the All Big East second team. He was drafted by the New York Yankees out of high school. Carter Smith with the pitch. Winkle fouls that one off as well. So 1-2. Orleans trying to keep the shutout intact. Wilkin at third, McKeithen at first. 1-2 comes up and in. Cade Belosa waiting on deck. Pretty significant considering he is 2 for 3. Single in each of his last 2 at-bats. Big lefty Winkle waits for it and swings and misses for strike 3. Breaking ball fooled him. A nice pitch from Carter Smith, who gets himself out of the jam in the top of the 8th inning. The Mariners put 2 on base but can't bring home that first run of the ball game. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-0 Orleans leads. You're listening to the Mariners Radio Network. Home half of the 8th inning. The Orleans faithful happy with what they've seen so far. Their team leads at 8-0 over the Harwich Mariners. Colin Casey, Tim Foley bringing you live coverage of opening day. The 2021 Harwich Mariners season, the first of 40 games. As Tim mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this season just the top 2 teams in each division qualify for the postseason, so that will be a fun race to watch as the season goes on. Going to be a real competitive Eastern Division. And Orleans already looking like a team that could be the favorite to represent the East in the 2021 Championship Series. Jack Moss leads off for Orleans. He watches the first pitch strike from Brandon Walker.
And in a shortened season, every game matters that much more. You know, shortened by only 4 games, but that's not even that long to begin with.
Popped up foul out of play by Moss. You have to factor in also the fact that rained out games will not be made up. So, depending on how the schedule shakes out, that could certainly come into play when it comes to determining those 4 playoff teams in the Cape League. 0-2 to Moss. High fastball misses.
And of course, in regards to the playoffs and all that, these players are here to work on themselves as individuals. You know, a team might not have collective success as the pitch misses, but it's all about how they develop as individuals, even if it doesn't show on the Cape. What can they take from this season that they've learned and then bring it back to their fall ball teams, then their collegiate teams, and then apply it?
Moss spoils another one down the left field line.
That's not to say that you won't get teams that don't come together over the course of a season and really have fun and try to win.
Harwich lost opening day last year 7-2 at Falmouth. They started their first 4 games on the road last year. And Moss once again late on one, fouls it to the left. Year prior, they actually faced Orleans on opening day in 2018. Got a 3-2 victory at home. Two is fouled off to the left once more. Now, just saying, Tim, last time the Mariners were shut out on opening day, 2011. What happened that year? Mariners won the league title. So that was a 2-0 loss. Hey, Tim, guess where that game was? Right here.
No kidding.
Playing the long game. Coach Englert playing the long game.
Trying to replicate success.
2-strike pitch misses down and in. In fact, the Mariners also lost Game 2 that season. They didn't score their first run of the season until Game 3. They were shut out by Hyannis, and then a 1-0 victory at Bourne. Followed by a 2-0 victory later that afternoon, and it's part of a Sunday doubleheader.
And that's the other thing to keep in mind, too. You know, we're looking at a game like this where, you know, if you're Harwich, you're down 8-0 right now. These players just flew in from all around the country, and yes, Orleans did as well. You know, it's all about how quickly a team's able to mesh together. And it just depends on your group of guys. You know, Orleans, they've been putting it together well so far.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. The ball dropped by Winkle. He waits, throws on to first in time, and Moss is down on strikes for out number 1 to the bottom of the 8th. Lengthy at-bat by Moss, fouling off several pitches, but in the end, couldn't quite stay alive to reach base.
And, you know, it helps to have a lot of really talented guys. Like, Harwich has put a lot of contact to a lot of balls in this game, but this infield for Orleans has really put together quite the outing today.
Swing and a miss by Julio Marcano. Kicked off the scoring for Orleans. Solo home run in the 3rd. Got all of that one to left field. Walker tries catching the outside corner. Cannot. Walker delivering home again, that one in the dirt. No runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Harwich. 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. That big 4-run 7th inning, doubling the lead, making the difference. Headlined by that 3-run home run from Chase DeLauder. Marcano watches strike 2. Mariners will make several trips here to Orleans throughout the season. Pitch misses outside. Next time they'll be in town, not too long actually, 8 days from now. Weather permitting, June 28th. Same time, 7 o'clock, first pitch.
Yeah, these two teams gonna get familiar. Orleans coming to Harwich soon, as you've mentioned.
2-2 down the left field line, just outside the third base bag. Third base umpire ruling it foul. And the Mariners will make a few trips to some West teams twice, but others just once. They'll only play one road game at Hyannis this year. Falmouth, they're scheduled to go to twice, as well as Wareham. A couple of trips to Bourne as well. That one fouled straight back. So Katuitt and Hyannis, two ballparks that the Mariners will only go to once. And that's if they don't get rained out. We've been through a lot the last year, Tim. The last thing we need is rain. As there's a ball stung towards right center field. A dive! Oh, what a catch by Nick Lucky! Full extension out in right center field. He picks it before it hits the grass. And he robs Marcano of what would have been extra bases. An exciting out number 2.
These right fielders tonight have been on a different level. I mean, we've seen some spectacular plays from DeLauder for Orleans, and Lucky's getting it done too. I mean, that was just absolutely spectacular. He covered a lot of ground out in right to be able to come over and make that catch.
Yeah, he's probably Harwich's player of the game in this one based on the defense alone. Not to mention he's been able to reach base once via hit by pitch. Hasn't had exactly the same success at the plate, but what a play. Really trying to outdo DeLauder, who certainly has done it both in the field and the plate in this game, going 2 for 4 with a 3-run home run.
And then you remember Lucky's throw to the plate that helped to record that out. That was on Mickness back in the 5th inning.
Speaking of Mickness, he's at the plate and watches the first pitch for a strike. He's reached base all 3 times. Can't ask for much more out of your 9-hitter. Pair of walks in last inning. Singled, came around to score on that home run. Foul tip in the dirt. Actually, he came home on the at-bat before it, the ground out to Corey Acton. And the next pitch was deposited over the left field fence. Fastball from Walker, hit on the ground to third, cleanly fielded by Wilkin. Throw on to Jenkins in time, and the inning is over. So the Firebirds go down quietly in the 8th. They enjoy a 8-0 lead. We head to the final inning. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Ninth inning we go. 8-0 Orleans looking to put this one away, and they will turn it over to right-hander Nick Wallerstedt out of Arizona State. Tempe, Arizona native. Comes in. Didn't exactly have the best sophomore season. 5 appearances. He only went 2/3 of an inning pitch in 5 appearances. I thought that might have been a typo at first. But 4 earned runs in the 2/3 of an inning pitched, 8 hits, and an ERA of 54. Opponents hit .800 against him, so he's looking to bounce back. Did not play in the 2020 season. He's actually the son of former Sun Devil football player Brett Wallerstadt. 6-year NFL career for his father, Brett, so nice little connection there. He's also a standout football player, which makes a lot of sense considering his father's background. And senior year, he decided he was going to stick with baseball. And his goal is to make it to Major League Baseball eventually. And, you know, he's actually, I think he's been more of a position player as well. So he's kind of a two-way player. Yeah, he hit really well in high school, 387 with 10 home runs, but has been a pitcher for Arizona State. So he'll be greeted by the bottom of the Harwich Mariners order, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Cade Beloso will lead things off in the 9th. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Left-handed hitting left fielder from LSU. Watches ball 1.
I mean, first pitch misses, but motion looked pretty good from Wallerstedt on the mound.
Righty comes home, misses inside. Beloso, as we mentioned earlier, 2021 was a bit tough for him at the plate, but with this clean slate of CCBL already off to a good start, 2 for 3, it's got to feel good for him. And he's ahead in the count 3-0 as Wallerstedt having a little trouble finding command. See if, with a 3-0 count, Beloso has the green light. Wallerstedt with the pitch. That's right there for strike 1. Long look in by Wallerstedt. He works from the windup again. At 3-1, misses outside for a ball. And Cade Beloso reaches base for the 3rd time. A leadoff walk to begin the top of the 9th for Harwich as their quest for their first run of the season continues.
Nice at bat from Beloso. New pitcher into the game. He's going to make him work to try and strike him out. And ends up walking him on 5.
Another tie here on opening day. This one with Chatham and Falmouth in what was a really tightly contested game. 7-7 the final from Arnie Allen Diamond. Hal Hughes watches strike 1. Of course, earlier Brewster and Yarmouth tying 5-5. Katuitt advancing to 1-0 on the season with an 8-5 win over Wareham. And Bourne defeated Hyannis 3-0 to begin their season. Pitch to Hughes, fastball swung on and missed. Hal Hughes, 0 for 3. It's not for a lack of trying. All 3 of his outs sent to right field. All 3 were pretty good plays made by by Chase DeLauder, I should say.
Yeah, these have been well-hit balls by Hughes. I mean, he's certainly seeing it well at the plate.
Fastball misses down and away that time. Yeah, showing off some solid opposite field contact.
That's the other part of it, too. It's all been opposite field.
Did hit 300 in the same role with the Mariners, batting the 8 and 9 spot. Looking to repeat that success from 2 years ago. 1-2 just below the knees. Again, good to see him back, this time as a member of Rice, the alma mater of last year, or 2 years ago, pitching coach Jeff Neiman, former MLB top 5 pick and former Harwich Mariner. There's a pop-up right side that will make its way onto the hill, and a couple of children will go after that. Haven't had a whole lot of opportunities in this game. Not a lot of pop-ups that have just crept over the netting. They've either hit the netting or gone way over it.
I tell you, though, I've never seen a scarier sight than in Harwich when a foul ball goes into those trees and you just get a swarm of young fans chasing after it, pushing each other into trees. it's a sight to see.
2-2 is high. That'll fill the count.
And just to go back on Hughes now being over at Rice, you got to admire moves like that at times where you don't think you're going to get as much playing time. You think, you're at a point in your career when you need to be showing off as much as you can.
Inside out swing fouled off on that payoff.
And, you go somewhere, it's maybe, quote, a smaller market, a smaller school, not as big a name nor flashy. It's not the SEC anymore. But you're still getting quality playing time. It's still quality Division I baseball, and you're improving your game. And so it's Hughes making that decision in regards to what would be best for his career, and you see that sometimes.
Another 3-2 to Hughes, fouled straight back. Cade Beloso at first, top of the 9th inning from Eldridge Park. Orleans looking to improve to 1-0 on the season. Again, making the most of some of their guys on their roster before they head to Team USA. The 3-2. Low for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Wallerstedt. Hal Hughes trots down to first base. And we have a pinch hitter for Ben Malgeri. Prez Kavanaugh gets his first at-bat of the season. So in steps the big left-handed hitting bat of Kavanaugh. UNC Greensboro product, Charlotte native. Hit .230 for Greensboro, 8 home runs, 36 RBIs. He's got a ton of pop. He watches strike one from Wallerstedt. Kavanaugh actually homered on March 12th against Tennessee Volunteers, who are currently in Omaha for the College World Series. Takes a big cut and misses for strike 2. Actually got a piece of it.
Yeah, he liked that one. Just got underneath it, though. Sent it right back to the twine. I do like this move, though, to Kavanaugh. I mean, he knows how to get on base. Did a pretty good job for Greensboro. Back in 2020, led the team in on-base percentage at .479. Had .372 this past season for the Spartans.
Pitch from Wallerstedt. Misses at his ankles. Beloso at second, Hal Hughes at first. Mariners have stranded 8 runners on base. Check that, 9 runners on base throughout this game. So they've had opportunities, just haven't been able to get that timely hit. Wallerstedt delivers, and that one fouled straight back again.
Yeah, they've been pretty stifled. I mean, I know we've mentioned it, the pitching and the infield have really been doing a good job, but just they have not been getting that many balls out into the outfield for Harwich. Only 4 hits in this game. And as you said, plenty have been left on base. Certainly going to look for a change in pace tomorrow, perhaps.
Breaking ball is hit, and a diving play at first by Moss. The outstanding defense continues from the Orleans Firebirds as Moss got a great jump on that softly hit line drive and laid it out in the dirt. Made the catch, both runners back to first and second, and there is now 1 down.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch over at first. I mean, Moss kind of almost came out of nowhere, diving across to make that catch. Really nicely done, and luckily enough for the runner on first and Hughes, there's nobody else near that first base bag because he was well on his way to second. He did not think that thing was going to be pulled down.
5th at-bat for Nick Lucky. He struck out swinging in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, flew out to left field in the 5th, and struck out swinging again in the 7th. Opportunity to plate the first run of the Mariners season here in the top of the ninth on opening night. Wallerstedt jams him, and he flares it just into the street foul. I'm sure those woods behind us, behind Route 28, have swallowed tens of thousands of baseballs over the years.
I was going to say, it's got to be somewhere in the thousands.
Keep in mind, this field was built in 1911.
Oh, yeah, right after Fenway.
Right before.
Sorry, my math
Fenway
was
was in 1912, I believe. Line drive, base hit into right field for Lucky. They're going to hold Beloso at third base to load the bases for Corey Acton. Sharply hit ground ball right into right field, and definitely the most successful inning at the plate for the Mariners. Unfortunately, they're running out of time.
Yeah, you have two good patient at-bats from Beloso and Hughes to open it up, and then Lucky, the lefty, pulls it through that left side. And Mariners not able to drive anybody home off of it, but now you got them loaded with only one out.
So here's Acton, who has reached base in each of his last two trips, I should say. He swings and misses at strike one. He walked in the fifth, and then again in the eighth. Not a good day for him on the base path, so he was caught stealing in that fifth and was cut down trying to score in the eighth.
And you are right, Colin. It was 1912.
Breaking ball lined. It's going to be on a hop to short, I should say. A tough turn. They're just going to get the force out at third base. Hughes is out, but Beloso scores, and the Mariners are on the board with two down in the top of the ninth. It is now 8-1.
Good to get one across late in the game. Of course, going to look to try and keep it going here with Wilkin. But this infield for Orleans, they are pretty tough to beat.
Brock Wilkin, 2 hits in this game, has reached base 3 times. Runners at first and second with 2 down in the ninth. Wallerstedt catches the outside corner on him. And just a game where Orleans made the most of their at-bats and kept Harwich off the scoreboard with solid pitching and outstanding defense. Wallerstedt's 0-1. Big swing by Brock Wilkin, but he comes up empty, and the Mariners are down to their final strike. He was looking to put that one in Brewster. Crowd that have stuck around for the entirety of this one, cheering on the Firebirds. 1 strike away from the opening day win as Brock Wilkin calls time. Nick Lucky at second, Corey Acton at first. Oh, 2 count. Pitch from Wallerstedt. Breaking ball, and Wilkin able to stay on it and foul it off to the right. Andrew Jenkins in the on-deck circle. Should the inning continue. Wallerstedt comes set. Another 0-2. Misses well outside. Again, this is the first of 40 scheduled games for both teams. Cut down from 44 2 years ago. Again, no makeups either for Rain with COVID and the late start. The 1-2 comes in, and for the second time in this game, Brock Wilkin is hit by a pitch. He tosses the bat. and trots on down to first. That'll load the bases. Been a painful one for Wilkin, but on-base percentage is going to be sparkling after this one at .800 currently.
Yeah, 2 hits and 2 bruises.
And so now the cleanup hitter, Andrew Jenkins, has him loaded with 2 down in the 9th. He gets a hold of one, it's all of a sudden it's a save situation. No action, though, in the pen for Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds. Wallerstedt, first pitch to Jenkins. That's over for a strike. Jenkins 0 for 4 with 4 groundouts. Ground out to Tyler Locklear at third, his first 2 at-bats in the first and the third, then to Jordan Sprinkle in the 6th inning, followed by a groundout to the pitcher in inning number 8. 0-1 check swing, but it's going to miss low. No appeal.
Nice job of checking the swing, nearly getting around that one.
Wallerstedt comes to the belt. 1-1. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Jenkins looking for something to drive. He comes up empty. 1-2. Mariners once again 1 strike away from falling to 0-1 on the season. Lucky at third, Acton at second, Wilkin at first. A 1-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground, foul outside of third. Crowd continues to clap to get the Arizona State right-hander into it. 1-2 to Jenkins. The offering. Roped foul down the left field line, out of play.
Good battle here from Jenkins. Not going down quietly.
I want to thank everyone for tuning into this game. Great to be back broadcasting in the Cape League. It's been a long, almost 2 years. Jenkins waits another 1-2. Fastball misses low and outside. The Firebird dugout thought they had their first win of the season, but they'll have to wait at least another pitch. Count is now 2-2.
It was close, I'll tell you that, Colin. It was very close.
Aaron McKeithen waits on deck. See if he gets an opportunity as well. The 2-2. Fastball fouled back by Jenkins. Mariners not going down without a fight.
This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
The 37th of the inning for Wallerstedt. Certainly making him earn it. The 2-2. Line drive right to Jace Young at second base. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. So, Harwich Mariners fall on opening night on the road as they are defeated by the Orleans Firebirds. Final score from Eldridge Park, Orleans 8, Harwich 1. Stay tuned for the post-game recap coming up in just a few moments. You're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. Colin Casey wrapping things up from Orleans as the Firebirds take down the Harwich Mariners. Final score 8-1 on opening night. The Mariners just couldn't quite get that timely hit as they stranded runners on base throughout the game. Orleans made some big defensive plays to keep them off the scoreboard throughout, and they were able to get some big swings as well. A pair of home runs. Julio Marcano got the scoring started for Orleans in the bottom of the third inning with a solo shot off of Nick Sinicola. And then later on, it was the 3-run death nail home run from Chase DeLauder, who made some great plays as well in the field out in right field. 3-run shot in the home half of the seventh, part of a 4-run seventh inning for Orleans, put this game away, and Harwich was only able to muster a run on an RBI fielder's choice from Corey Acton in the ninth inning. The win in this game goes to Michael Polk. The Georgia Bulldog improves to 1-0 on the season. Nick Sinicola, who was pretty impressive all things considered, giving up just 2 runs, 1 earned on 3 hits through 4 innings while striking out 4. He gets the loss, falls to 0-1 on the season. Harwich with just 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error, and 12 runners left on base, including the bases loaded in the top of the ninth inning. Orleans 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 earned. They stranded 4 runners on base. Ball game took 3 hours and 5 minutes to complete. 2,533 were on hand to watch the Orleans Firebirds improve to 1-0 on the season and defeat the Harwich Mariners 8-1 on opening day here at Eldridge Park. For everyone who made this possible, for everyone who tuned in, for our producer Matt Lucy, for my broadcast partner Tim Foley, I'm Colin Casey. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow afternoon, be sure to tune in this same spot, the same account, as Tyler Henry and Tim Foley will be on the call as the Mariners look to get in the win column and get back to 500 as they take on the YD Red Sox in an Eastern Division Championship rematch from 2019. Again, tomorrow at White House Field for the Mariners' home opener. Again, final score, Orleans 8, Harwich 1. This has been another edition of the Harwich Mariners here